Hey everybody, welcome back to Factorio Seablock. This is a revisit. I played it like ages ago and figured I'd come back to it. So I'm Board Bob and I'm outstanding in my field. I know dad jokes, right? So anyway, last episode we worked on getting our Algae 2 set up and getting that all done, and now I've got it moved and I'm quite happy with where we are. Um, I did have to redo the way I was feeding this stuff. It was just getting backed up too much. Of course, now we have more than we need because right now we're not really producing a whole lot of anything. But anyway, it was getting backed up much more than I wanted it to, and this way we get more throughput. So it's coming out of each one into an assembler, out of an assembler into a pellet maker, out of the pellet maker, then it's going over and making wooden blocks, and that's being turned into charcoal. Um, at some point, we're going to want some of these wooden blocks because we need them to make poles and that sort of thing. But for right now, this works. Again, like I say, I tear things out, put them back, tear them out, put them back. Um, in order to do this, I had to connect things a little differently. As you can see, I had to put cross pipes in, which means I had to widen it a little bit. So it's about one, maybe two spaces wider than what it originally was, but it seems to be working pretty good. Um, we don't have the land issues that we had. So I put two of them in. That should give me plenty of fuel. Um, and I relocated my mineralizers. I relocated my CO2 production just to kind of crunch it in there a little better. Also, as you can see, I've doubled my electrolyzer. I wanted more, um, yeah, what do they call this? What are they calling it? What are they calling it? Slag. I don't know, brain fart for a minute there. Anyway, I wanted more slag. A, I needed it for this, and B, we needed it because we're going to start making more metals. Uh, Not this episode. This episode, we're not going to start working on metals. Um, we're going to do a couple of little bootstrap factories that we need for some things. So I have power now for days. Um, this should keep me going for quite a while. We got 73.8 megawatts worth of production capability. We're only using 21. So I think we're going to be all right for a little while. But I wanted to increase that before I started doing more electrolyzing and before I started making my metals, because that's where we're headed now. We're going to start increasing our metal output because this little stuff here just ain't cutting it. Um, we need way more. We'll have plenty of land to expand in. We're doing real good with our land. These ones are just kind of picking up the leftovers that these ones don't get to. Um, but yeah, we're doing good on land production. I'm happy. We're gonna fill both those chests, and that's gonna be it for a while. We'll shut this down. So, what are we gonna do today if we're not gonna do that? Well, first we're gonna look at text. That's gonna be our first thing. So, what do we want for text? Again, I'm thinking not the gun turrets yet. We are getting close to where we're going to run into these worms, but we still got a fair bit of area that we can creep into, I think, before we really have to start worrying about the worms. As you can see, I went ahead and I turned all the whatchamacallits back on, all the radars. Got some real interesting worms out here. Of course, you got your giant worms and what have you, but we got big acid spitter worm. Um, there's some fire spitter worms out here. Some electric spitter worms, big electric worm. So yeah, got some different types of worms. So that should be fun when we get to that, and we'll have to worry about our ammo and our turrets and stuff then. But right now, I don't think we need it. So we're going to skip that. We're going to skip the walls. I don't know that walls is really going to be, other than needing it for other things, I don't think we're going to have to build walls. I don't think there are biters in this. I think it's all just worms. We'll find out. So radar. I'm going to go ahead and do the radar. It's going to increase the range of the radar. We might as well do it. We're going to get the electronics assembly machine. We're going to do farming, which is going to allow us to start doing some of our plant-based tech. So we'll do that. That's going to, you know, allow us to get our soil and what have you. We're also going to do the green science. Bronze smelting, I'm not sure we need it yet. I don't know what all it's going to give us. Advanced solder casting, though. I think we're going to do that because I know we're going to need solder to make circuits, that sort of thing. So we'll grab that. Magnesium smelting, Arboretum for automated production of wood. That would be kind of nice, huh? I mean, we're making wood blocks, but that would also be nice to have that. So let's grab that. Let's grab the garden processing so that we can start getting our seeds and our what have you. So that'll do us, I think, for our initial grab of tech, and we'll see how far we get before we get off, and we may add some more tech. So what are we going to do today? Like I said, we're going to do a couple of little bootstrappy things, and one of the things we're going to do is these basic circuit cards. A lot of stuff needs them, and it takes for freaking ever to handcraft them. So we're going to go ahead and make that into its own little production line. We're not going to make a huge production line right now. We're just going to make enough that if we need them, we can go get them. So what do we need for that? We need copper cable, which we know how to make copper cable. It's easy. We need wooden boards. So wooden boards come from paper. Paper comes from cellulose pulp. Cellulose pulp comes from cellulose fiber and alginic acid. Cellulose fiber, we know how we get that. Alginic acid comes from brown algae, and you just make it out of brown algae. Now we're going to get rid of all this brown algae that we've been saving up. So let us go over here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to plop down. We're going to steal some of this water from our mud sucking, because it's not going to hurt us to grab some of it. So we're going to put this down here. We're going to put a pipe to it so it's got water. We're going to turn this to green algae 1, because even though we're going to get brown algae, and even though we've got brown algae, it can't hurt, and it's less that we've got to really screw around with. We don't have to get mineralized water and all that stuff. We just need the green algae 1, and we can use everything that comes out of it. So we're just going to do that. So now, what do we need to make? We need to make alginic acid, and then we need to make cellulose pulp, which is alginic acid and cellulose fiber. So let us put down a factory here, right, that we can take any brown algae out of and use it to make our alginic acid. And at the same time, let us put down, you know what, let's do this. Let's move it down here, over, and then we can leave a space here so we can come from this, and we can come from a chest. Put a chest down there, and we can keep filling the chest with brown algae, right? And then that will make our alginic acid. So we'll take the brown out of here, and the brown out of here makes algenic acid. And then from algenic acid, we need cellulose fiber, which we're getting from the green algae. So we're going to want another assembler to take the green algae and turn that into cellulose fiber. Actually, let me see. Space. No, go from here. So we want that. Space. That. Dang it, it's not quite. Because what I was thinking is we get this, and then from there we can do this. We can still do it. We can still do it. It's just not going to be in line like that. We'll just do it this way. Right? So green's going to go into there. That's going to give us our fiber. Brown is going to go into here. That's going to give us our acid. Right? And then the acid and the fiber will go together to give us our pulp. So there and there gives us our pulp. And then we need to make paper, and paper is just taking the pulp and making paper. So we'll go there and make paper. And then paper makes wooden boards. And then wooden boards and copper cable give us circuits. So then we need another assembler. Wooden boards. Copper cable. Copper plate, right? Where is copper cable? All these menus. And then basic circuits. There we go. Right? So brown and brown go into here, make our acid. Green goes into here, makes our fiber. Our fiber and our acid makes our paste. Our paste makes our paper. Our paper makes our boards. Our boards and our copper cables make our circuits, and there it is. All right, so now all we gotta do is power it. Oops, I didn't mean to take away the assembler, just the inserter. I wanted to move it down by one because now that reaches all of them. Will that? No, that will though. And then there, and there, and there. That should do everything, right? So there we go. Oh, and now we gotta turn this one back on. All right. And that should be making our algae 1. And once it starts, we will start to have circuits. So there's our first little bootstrap that we want to do. The next one that we want to do is, let's see. So we did that. Oh yeah, I know what it is. We want to make bricks. Because a lot of things take bricks, and bricks are real easy to make. You just need stone, a furnace, and a place to put them. right? And then just fuel to put them in. Now, wait, let's do even the one more step because we still got to do that. All right, so we're going to take our crushed stone, turn our crushed stone into stone, and then we're going to take our stone, put it in the furnace, and make bricks with it. And there we go. So this is stone. Ta-da! Now we just need to put fuel in there, and we need to put crushed stone in there. So that's going to give us our bricks. So, what's next that we want? Well, I would like to start making transport belts, but we don't really have the iron production right now. That's what we're going to do. Next episode is we're going to increase all of our iron and copper production now that we've got everything else squared away. Telephone poles. You know what? Telephone poles. We can come over here, and we are already making copper cable. So if we take the copper cable and we put it into there, we tell that to make telephone poles. Then the only thing we got to do is we need a gazinta and a gazouta. A gazinta for wood and a gazouta for telephone poles, and we can put some wood blocks in there. So let's stock up on the stuff we need. We need fuel. Fuel's easy, it's going to last for a long time. We need crushed stone, and we need wood blocks. So let's go over here and steal a stack of fuel. All right. Oop. Yep, there we go. All right, so there we have that. And then we're going to want some wood. Giggity. We'll just steal the wood from here. And we'll steal the wood from here. Right, that's going to give us wood. And crushed stone, we'll just steal from here for now. That crushed stone in there, wood in there, and we got plenty of copper in there, so that's going to get us started. So, okay, so now we've got our basic circuits, we got our telephone poles, and we got our bricks. What else? All of that's going to be automated in bigger chunks. Oh, yeah, steel plates. Steel plates is the next one we need. We need another stack of fuel. Grab steel. And we have a furnace. We have a furnace. And we need, oops, we need chests. We need, I don't have any more assemblers? Alright, fine. We'll have to make some assemblers real quick. We'll make 5. We don't need 5, but we'll make 5. Alright, so steel plates. We need a chest full of iron. We need some inserters that we didn't pick up. We'll put that down here where we can actually use the... And then we need to heat the steel. Oh man, if I'd back that up. Right there, I think it is. Yep. There we go. Now we don't have to use an extra pole. Alright, so steel goes in there. Fuel goes in there. That's going to heat the plate up. It's going to give us these glowing hot iron plates. And then the factory is going to mash that down into steel plate. And then that's going to give us steel plates because we need those to build some stuff. So there we go, guys. These are the basic things that we're just... I'm tired of handcrafting them. Now, the steel I couldn't handcraft because you need the furnace. But these other ones, it takes for freaking ever to handcraft them. We haven't automated them in large quantities yet. We just need enough to get things going so that we can do our steel, or do our iron and our copper. So next episode, we are ripping this out. And this area here is going to be our iron and copper production. And then that'll allow us to really kind of start to build. Right now we've been kind of hand jamming and handcrafting everything. Once we got a decent iron and a decent copper production, we can start looking at dealing with larger things. Alright, so let's see. Is there anything else we can grab that we haven't grabbed? We got one slot open. Well, once we get that, that's going to open that up, right? Or is it? That's going to be opened up by, oh, that's going to be opened up by the Arboretum. So let's go ahead and grab that science. We'll just go ahead and take that science. There we go. So that's gonna start to give us things like desert farming and tempered farming and things like that. And we've already gathered up those plants, so we can start getting into the agriculture farming side of things and start to get some of that technology. And we're also going to pick up the Atmos technology. So we're going to start getting into some of our techs now. So there we go, guys. I think that's going to do it for this episode. Like I say, next episode we're gonna start our metal production, and we'll go from there. We may have to start looking at expanding the land again, either that way or down here, or a little of both. But yeah, there we go, guys. We are moving right along. All right, you guys take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.